45, 45, 90 triangles. I have two angles that are 45 degrees, and then you have that 90. This is our formula triangle up here. The hypotenuse is always across from the angle, so there's our hypotenuse. And the other two are exactly the same. When you have a 45, 45, 90, the legs are the same. So there's a leg, there's a leg. They're both x. In this case, they're the same. And then whatever x is, whatever the leg is, you take radical 2, multiply that x, and you get the hypotenuse. So there's our formulas. The leg equals leg almost doesn't even need to be said. But whatever one leg equals, the other one is the same. And then if I take the leg and multiply it by radical 2, I get the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse equals radical 2 times the leg, or the leg times radical 2. So there's our two formulas that we will use for 45, 45, 90 triangles. So if we go down and check out this first one here, we know it's a 45, 45, 90 because it says it's a 45 there. So that tells us that these legs are the same size. So if this one's 3, then x is 3. Don't need to do anything for that. Then our hypotenuse equals the leg times radical 3. Sorry, equals our leg times radical 2, radical 3 for the 30, 60, 90s. So the hypotenuse is y equals the leg, which is 3, times radical 2. 3 times radical 2, I can't multiply them because one's in a radical, the other one's not. So there's our answer. Y is 3 radical 2. Okay, pretty simple. For the second one here, here's a leg that's 2 radical 3. So that tells us that the other leg is also 2 radical 3. Then I could use my formula. Hypotenuse equals radical 2 times the leg, or leg times radical 2, same thing. And then I can use that to find the x. So the hypotenuse is x. X equals radical 2 times the leg. The leg is 2 times radical 3. So when I multiply those together, I multiply the radicals with radicals, numbers with numbers. So radical 2 times radical 3 is radical 6. The 2 in front just comes along. So 2 times 3 in the radicals gives me 6. So there's my x value. There's the hypotenuse, 2 radical 6. That's all I have to do with that. For this third one, 4 is the hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So I'm looking for the legs. I don't know y, I don't know x, but I know that they will be the same. So if I set up my formula, hypotenuse equals the leg times radical 2. Keep switching it up on you. So the hypotenuse is 4 equals the leg. I don't know what either leg is, so I'm just going to put an x there, times radical 2. So this is multiplication, right? So how do I cancel out multiplication? I simply divide. So divide by radical 2 on both sides. So the radical 2 over radical 2 will cancel out. Then x will equal 4 over radical 2. But since I can't leave a radical in the denominator, I have to simplify it just like the last assignment. So we need to multiply both the top and the bottom by radical 2. Radical 2 on the top, radical 2 on the bottom. I can't multiply 4 with radical 2, so it's just going to be 4 radical 2 over radical 2 times radical 2 would be radical 4. Okay, so on the bottom, I have a regular 2. Top, I have 4 times radical 2. The bottom, I have a regular 2. So then I can simplify a little bit more, because if you notice the 4 over 2, right, those can be simplified there and just be a regular 2. So I have 2 radical 2 for my x value. And since I know that the legs are the same, so I know x, so I know that the x is 2 radical 2. I also know that the y is the same as the x, so they're both 2 radical 2. And there's that one. That's as challenging as they get, that right there, where you have to simplify a little bit. Okay, the last one here. 10 radical 2 is the hypotenuse. So I'm going to use that to find the leg. So hypotenuse equals the radical 2 times the leg. And I know the hypotenuse is 10 radical 2. I know the leg is either x or y, they're the same, so it doesn't matter which one I pick. So radical 2 times x equals 10 radical 2. So I want to solve for x, right? So I'm going to divide, to cancel out the multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by radical 2. Radical 2 over radical 2 cancels each other out. And then 10 radical 2 over radical 2 again. Those radical 2's will cancel each other out. And 10 is equal to x. So I know x is 10, and I know y is 10. So they are both the same, and we're finished with that.